was no any juice or sweets to offer. So it was less of our priorities.
So when do you break your virginity?
If anything, I don't think I can remember.
You don't remember? Everyone remembers their first time.
Yeah?
Was it teens, 20s?
Yeah, we're very active when we were teens.
You've always been an activist.
We're very active because
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to a special, and I mean, I don't even think it's a special, Sol. It's an iconic interview.
Yeah,
this
iconic.
I've been trying to get this man for years. He's finally here. Please welcome CIC Julius Malema.
Thank
you. How are you, King?
Good and you. Good and you.
Are you good? Fresh from Ibiza? How was
Absolutely.
Ibiza?
It was sunny. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
What was the reason for you going down there? Like
Mazoti's daughter was getting married.
Oh.
Yes. So I went to support him.
Yeah. I was speaking to Lukau because he was with you.
Yes.
He's like, hey, Chief, it's expensive here. As long as when you come, you must come with Julius because he pays for everything.
Never. I think the man who had money was Lukau there. We didn't have money.
What were you guys getting up to? Like, it looked dope on
it was
the
so chilled. I went with my wife. We wake up, breakfast, then we just chill. There's nothing to do.
Yeah.
And then on the day of formal programs, we'll go and attend. And the problem is that the sun set very late, around 9:30, 10.
Wow.
Yeah, so you stay until that late before you can make it agree it's now evening because there's darkness. Yeah, but by 12 you are tired.
Yeah.
And the young ones will go to clubs and at 10 I will go sleep.
I saw there was a video of you DJing at some party there.
No, it was the pool party of the official wedding program. Yeah, so I went I was there, attended, and then we started fooling around.
Yeah. And how is the clubbing culture there? Because Black Coffee is massive.
I didn't go to any club activity. I went to some place, I can't remember whether it's a beach party or what, but it starts at 8 and finishes at 12. From there you jump to the next venue, the club opens at 12. And I missed Euphonics set the other day. I missed Zex Van Trini set because he will start playing at 3 or 4 and then it's a 2-hour set. So it finishes at 6 in the morning. So I can't keep up.
Hey man,
I wanted to go and support, but I can't. Yeah. Otherwise, you must take 2 days off.
Yeah.
Lose 2 days.
How long does it take you to recover now? Because it takes me about 7 days if I had a rough night.
2 days.
2 days.
Rough means going beyond 12. So if I sleep before 12, I'm fine.
Yeah. Take me back from the beginning, man. How was it being raised Ko Seshego, Zone 1?
Well, it was an ordinary life of every ordinary black person who grew up during our time. I was born to a third born. My grandmother had 9 kids.
Whoa.
Yeah, and they stayed in a 4-roomed house, 2-bedroom, and then we slept everywhere. Depending on who came first to get a proper spot. So we slept in the kitchen, in the dining room, and in the bedrooms, and
it was normal.
And it was vibey, it was proper, it was nice. It's too loud. There's no a day where you'll say you are bored because you are in a permanent company. And there's something happening. But with us, it was worse because there was no TV, there was no radio. So you had to go and watch TV from other people's houses. And then when you come back, you are dirty, you must go to the tap. And then clean up yourself. You see that thing of bathing at the tap. You just put a leg and then you bath and you think you bath properly. The water didn't touch the bag.
You missed the spot.
Yeah, you missed the spot. When you go back, they're like, hey, go back. Yeah, that type of an arrangement. But it was chilled. We didn't know much, and therefore we didn't ask for much.
Yeah.
We thought this is how it's supposed to be.
When you say we, are you talking about your siblings or?
Yeah, I don't have siblings. I'm the only child.
Oh, okay.
So my cousins. Yes. So we enjoyed each other's company and grew up as brothers and sisters. So there was no vacuum, even if I'm the only child.
Yeah.
But I never felt that I'm the only one, because the presence of others meant I'm in a presence of my brothers and sisters.
Yeah. And who was working in the household at that time?
My grandmother used to work. My mother used to work as a domestic worker as well. I think pretty much all of them worked as domestic workers. And then the firstborn was the only one who had a good job, because she worked in different places. But the last one, when we were growing up, is Edgar's. She used to work at Edgar's. But she was married already, and then having her own house and her own family. But she from time to time come and check us and drop something. But she can't afford. I mean, we also stayed with the mother of my grandmother, so the great-grandmother. She will just go to a shop and buy a bread and a king size of Coke and eat there. And then when you say to her, why are you eating at the shop? But, hey, that woman has got too many children and grandchildren. I can't take it. Yes, if I go in there with this bread, I won't even feel it. Yeah, so that's how bad the situation was.
Wow. And what were you guys eating at the time?
We're eating whatever is provided, but nothing is guaranteed. You know what? That's why the trick was to go and wait for our mothers at the bus stop, because when they come out of the bus, they've got some leftovers.
Yes.
So you open there and look for something nicer, because the rest of the other stuff must go there to be shared with everyone. But maybe she came back with some apple or banana, then you attack it before you arrive there. And
then didn't you ever go to your mom's work, like where she was working as a domestic?
I've never saw. The first time I came close to white people was in Parliament. I never did anything that included white people.
For real? All these years?
I didn't go to school with white people. I never played with white people. I never worked with them. The proximity I have of working with white people is Parliament, because DA sits next to us.
That's funny.
So that's why when white people speak, I struggle to hear. Because I have to ask them, what are you saying? Because they speak differently. So.
And don't they make fun of you because your accent is not like fluent?
No,
when
but
you speak English.
they can make fun of me, but that's not my language. It's their language, because if they speak my language, they're also going to sound funny. Their accent is also not going to be the way our accent is when we speak our language. So why bother with someone's language?
When you say that, it reminds me of the press conference where you're calling that white guy, hey, don't be chacharache. Hey, man, I was like, hey, that's my nigga. That was legendary. So how did your mother pass away?
No, my mother had epilepsy. She was epileptic from when I was born. I think she said she got its first attack when she was doing Standard 6. They were doing Standard 6 that time. And then throughout, she has been epileptic. So I grew up knowing that my mother is sick, because she will fall. So as we grow, it's me, it's my grandmother, then it's her, because people are now moving out into RDP houses, wara. She too got an RDP house, but my grandmother wouldn't allow her to stay there, because she said if she gets an attack alone, we'll have a problem. So they stayed together. So when she goes wherever she goes and then she collapses, let's say on the street or something, My grandmother would say, now I'm tired, go and fetch her. So you go there, but you are a small child, a boy child. So when you arrive there, you know, people in the township, when a person has collapsed, they run and then they stand on the side. You have to go there and cover her dresses and then wait for her to wake up. And then she will wake up, and then even after waking up, you don't just take her. She's still disorientated. Then from there, you take her home. So I grew up under that environment. So the small young boys, they will tease you with such things.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so then you will take her home. But the point I'm trying to make is that then you've got, because you are young boys, you tease each other and say all manner of things with an intention to embarrass. So having grown up like that, you don't get easily embarrassed by nonsensical things, because what happens is that when you grow up, your upbringing makes your character.
Yeah, shapes you.
Yeah, and therefore, you don't easily get shaken by such things.
Which makes sense with you, because people say all sorts of things about you.
Yes. But many say many sort of things about me which they know nothing about.
So when your mother's falling like that, don't people think kibuloi? Because at that time, you know, we don't know what epilepsy is.
All types of things will be said.
And it's a sheikh, I mean, buloi
all
is prevalent
types of
there.
things will be said. But when time goes, you realize that, and the more we get more exposure to information, you realize that some of the things are said to pass time. They are not meant for anything. People are bored. There's no electricity. There's no TV. We must just find something to say and do. And then you don't take such things to heart, because the same people who said Kebuloi and who are now helping them. Some of them will build them houses.
Is it?
Because there's nothing personal. They don't know what they are doing, so God has forgiven them a long time ago.
Did you ever encounter buloi, like witchcraft?
No, I've never encountered, because it doesn't exist.
You think it doesn't exist?
So if you wake up one day and find someone naked in your yard planting something, how would you justify that? Wouldn't you say that's buloi?
No,
because those things happen.
I would think she was lost.
And lost her clothes as well.
I think she would be lost, because let's take my great-grandmother, the mother of my mother I told you about. She will wake up to go to a bathroom outside. And then when she comes back, she doesn't know where she got out. She can't find the door. And then she starts pressing everywhere, and then we must be waking up. And if she succeeds to come in, she's going to wake you up trying to find a place where she was sleeping.
Yeah.
You'll just find a hand on your face. So before you know it, you say, no, this person is a witch. But no, this person is too old.
Yeah.
And they've lost direction. And you know, we had a case of witchcraft when we were growing up in politics, where some person got lost. And then that one, he was so unfortunate. Then he was found in a house of a person who was killed by their child. That child stabbed the child of that house, and that child died. Subsequent, a year or two, then that other person gets found in that house. What do you want? I'm lost. But he got lost into a wrong house. You see? So it's a coincidence. He was legitimately lost. But, and then all conspiracies were made. We entered that house as comrades. Then they said, no, people turn into frogs. That's fine. Where are the frogs now? Who can't find the frogs? So coming, you know, when you grow up, you realize that some of these things is just madness. It's boredom. We had very less activity.
But have you ever consulted a Sangoma?
My grandmother is a traditional healer.
Your grandmother?
Traditional healing and witchcraft are two different things. So witchcraft is when you are given a poison to go and poison someone and that person dies. That's witchcraft. And that is the science of it. Not this one that a person will use a broom to fly from here to the other place. That is boredom. But poisoning people, for whatever reason, it's witchcraft. So my grandmother was not giving medicine to go bewitch. It was medicine to heal. Because the earlier primitive society, before the arrival of the colonialist, used medicine, traditional medicine, to heal themselves. And today, many of those herbs are actually included in the so-called Western medicine. They use our herbs because they've come to appreciate that these herbs do help.
They've got Mpesu in vodka now.
Yeah, you see, they've got Mpesu in vodka. I don't know if Mpesu works, but there is Mpesu, because if Mpesu works, then those people who are doing rhino pouching,
yes.
They say they want to use the horn for the same purpose of Mpesu. But research shows that there isn't anything that suggests this thing works for that purpose. But remember, the power is in the mind. If you think it works, you can get very hard. Very strong.
Very quick.
And then you are proper. You solved your problems. It's in the brain.
Did your grandmother ever do a reading on you? Like, could she see that you'd become this person that you are now?
Well, every parent had a very strong belief in their children. But my mother was a strong religious person who, when we were engaged in strikes at school, she would just come in front of other parents there to embarrass us. Or when I told you you're going to be arrested or you'll die, or what, you must stop calling me when this guy causes trouble. Then my grandmother will be there to deal with issues in a perspective manner. And then on her way back, those parents will be insulting her that, no, a child of a witch is disrupting school. Our children can't go to school. What.
Sure. So you're a troublemaker at school? You're a troublemaker at school?
I was a president of the SRC at grade 8 and caused my first strike at grade 8, which lasted for 6 months.
What were you guys striking for?
For fees.
For fees?
And corporal punishment and the conditions in the schools. And the teachers who are sleeping with children.
What school was this?
Matlaganing, Zone 1. But it's a general problem in all our schools.
Where's your father in all of this?
I don't know my father. My mother was never prepared to talk about it.
So you've never met him, you never asked questions, nothing?
Nothing. I asked questions when she passed on before my grandmother. And then I asked my grandmother, and then my grandmother said, you can't undermine the words of the dead. They must always be obeyed. Yes.
So what happened with who's this guy? Samuel Manyapia
or something like
that.
I chance taker. I had so many fathers. I made a mistake one day and I spoke in an interview that I don't know my father. Yes.
They all came out of the woodworks.
Even from Soweto. A person just come from Soweto, he says no. When Julius's mother visited, so my mother has never visited Soweto. So I was like, I don't deal with chance takers. So my grandmother was still alive, my aunt was still alive, and they had the responsibility to deal with those things. Everybody who came, including the one you're talking about, they were like, don't take chances, man.
So what jobs were you doing, Nkosi Shiko, before you got into politics?
I didn't do any job.
You weren't working, nothing?
Nothing. I did politics when I was very young, at 9 years, because the ANC had something called the Young Pioneers, Machupatzela, Sisulu. So we go with other kids when they go to do soccer practice. And then we take a detour to do something else. So I tried soccer, but not playing. So I was a spectator, and when the two teams play, I'm the one who hold the money. So there was some team of some relatively old people, and then these ones of my age. They were playing, so they bet, they give me the money to hold. The young ones were winning, and then the old ones were losing. So this guy comes, he says, no, bring the money. The old one, I said, no. You can't get the money before the game is over. Yes. No. I felt a ding. Yeah. I saw the stars. Is it that thing they say they will beat you and you will see stars?
The stars, yeah.
It's not a joke. It's real, the thing.
Yeah.
I was taking that money from my pocket on the floor, and I threw it. I was on the floor and threw it. That was my last time at those things of football. I'm like, these guys are violent. I can't play with this type of people. No.
At 9 years old, when you get into politics, what does that mean? What are you doing?
So they teach us songs. We find some bush there, teach us songs, they teach us poems, and then they teach us how to help them when they march. For instance, when there is going to be a march, because we are young, we then push tires before they start marching. Okay. And then we know where they are going to barricade. So we go pushing the tires, and then we go stop there where they are going to barricade. And then they arrive, and then they bend the tires to barricade the road. Or I remember in 1994, one of my tasks was to remove the National Party posters in the township, because the National Party was putting posters for the first time in the township in 1994.
Oh, you had to remove them?
Yeah, and those posters were strategically put either at the police station or where there is lights, like poles and. So I had to fetch from a police station, remove them at the police station at night, and then you carry them. You see the way they hang them on the pole. You hang them here on your neck, because they are too heavy. I remember one day I was having that task, and then the soldiers' car came. Soldiers used to raid the township, so they came. I had to lie low and then crawl with those posters to the next street, because to the principals I must present some form of evidence. And the other day I had to remove, when you enter Shell, there is a, what do you call it, this Apollo light, like at the circle. It was the only one. So they put their poster up there. It was too far. So I had to climb that Apollo without step ladder to go. When I'm there, up there, the car comes of the police. I had to blend into that pole and sleep on it like this.
Sure.
And these fools, they just park there briefly.
Yeah.
And then they leave. From there, I must come down with that thing. So I just removed the ropes and then released. So I went down with that pole. I took the poster out to go and show these guys.
That sounds like a movie, man.
The task was performed.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
When you're doing all of this, when do you get time to date? Are you even dating at that time?
No, I think it was not a priority. But we're also very scared of them, because we had nothing to offer.
The ladies?
Yeah, there was no good clothes to present yourself. There was no any juice or sweets to offer. Yeah. So it was less of our priorities.
So when do you break your virginity?
If anything, I don't think I can remember.
You don't remember? Everyone remembers their first time.
Yeah? Was it teens, 20s?
Yeah, we were very active when we were teens.
You've always been an activist.
We were very active. Because remember at grade 8, I would leave my township to go into other townships like Nkwankua, Toyando, to establish the structures of COSAS COSAS, it was a student organization of the ANC at the time.
Yeah.
So we're engaged in all types of shenanigans.
Yeah.
As it were, yeah.
Vizcala. Vizcala.
There's no way. It's part of growing up. To deny that will be to deny a particular stage in your life. Yes.
Jeez, man. I think he was 13, 14. I'm getting those vibes.
I mean, at 14, you were the chairperson, right, of the youth league branch in Shisheko. Yeah. Didn't you face challenges like leading people who are older than you? Because as a 19-year-old, I'm sure it's tough to listen to a 14-year-old.
And remember the Varam Club?
Yeah.
Yes.
In all the structures I've led people who were older than me. I don't know where I got the wisdom, but majority of the time, I was either the youngest or the second youngest. So the same thing when I became president of COSAS, when I became president of the Youth League, I led with people who were older.
Yeah.
And at school, remember we went to school with very old people. People could go, leave school, go to work, raise some money, come back, and then pay for their own fees. And when you are older and strong, like this one is carrying weights, I become your friend. Yeah, and I start telling you some ideas of how things can be done, and you're like, hey, this young man is proper. So from there, you're my bodyguard. Yeah, you're not aware that no one can touch me because I've got this guy. And even when we say we're going on strike, the grade 12 will want to resist. You know, can't be told by these boys. Yeah. So I'm going to call these old ones, or let's go and show them. Yeah. And then they come. Yeah. So it has always been my life. Yeah. Only now in the EFF do I come into contact with young people that I'm older than.
Yeah. That's amazing. So when did you start meeting Winnie Mandela, Mam Winnie, Nelson?
I met Winnie when I was president of COSAS. Okay. Yeah. No, I met her before that. I met her before that in the COSAS conference, because there couldn't be a COSAS conference without her being there. Okay. Because we made a honorary president of COSAS.
What year is this?
I don't remember. We're young, we're very young.
Yeah.
And then Nelson Mandela, I met him when he came out of prison and came to Polokwane for the first time. So I was part of the marshals. So when you are marshals, your job is to control the crowd. So we do a human chain to block these people from accessing Madiba, because he must move freely, waving.
And he didn't know you at the time?
Yeah, I broke that chain and I went to shake the hand.
Yeah.
And then the day was made, I went home.
Yeah.
I left that chain. I was gone. I was gone. Yeah. So it is those memories that inspire your political interest.
Sure.
Because I remember the other day, Peter Mugaba was coming to address in a college called Kwenamulot in Sisheu. And then I was given a task to control the door which he's going to use. But I knew this guy, but I didn't know the face. So they said, no, Peter Mugaba will use this door. No problem. The guy came and said, open. I said, no ways. You are not going to enter.
Yeah.
Then the security say, hey man, chief, this is the president. Open the door.
Yeah.
I said, there's no one. You people are like that. Just come here and claim all types of leadership. And then that guy left the door. He went to enter through the main door. Yes, the commotion that happened inside the thing. Then I realized I messed up. I realized I just pet.
And you didn't get fired.
Everybody's so happy, like for real, it's him. Yeah. So we always had a way of getting into contact with the leadership.
Yeah.
and get inspired, and you realize that it is possible.
They did that the same thing to us now. Well, to me, when I was trying to park downstairs here, the guys with the guns.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm here to interview Julius. They're like, I went, man. I'm
And they did the same thing to Tibo Touch yesterday. He was coming to see me.
Yeah.
We agreed we were going to have lunch here.
Yeah.
For some reason, I got into a meeting.
Yeah.
He doesn't communicate that I'm on my way. He goes to the reception. They said, no, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And then they says, no, Vuyan. They say, no, they are all in a meeting. So you can't see them. So he thinks they don't know him.
Yeah.
Then you know what, let me leave these people.
Yeah.
He says, no, okay, thank you, bye. But Tibos, can we take a picture? They are just saying to him, we're not fighting with you. We're just doing our job. We love you so much, but you can't pass.
Let's talk about the journey of you becoming the president of the ANC Youth League.
Yes.
How does that come about? Like, what's the trajectory?
Well, when I was COSA's president, I was called back home to become the provincial secretary of the Youth League.
Okay.
I think I did that when I was 24 years old or 25. Then, contesting with very old people, I did that for 5 years because the term was 2 years. So I won the first conference, contested the next two conferences. No one contested me because if you make a mistake of giving me an opportunity to lead, I will lead to the best of my ability to a point where even the enemy thinks he's the right guy. Yeah, so let's leave him. So then we were sitting in Polokwane with Mbalula and Zizi. I think we were even called that day about the passing away of someone. I can't remember, either Brad Cable or something, because they were both crying that their father died. So then this guy says to me, who do you think can be president of the Youth League?
Yeah.
Then he says, okay, why? Galala and them is the last generation in terms of age they're living.
Yeah.
So let's give them the last chance and then off they go. Sitles Galala was the SG of the Youth League at the time. That guy says, no man, I think you are wrong. I say, what do you mean? He says, no, you can be president of the Youth League. That time he's the president of the Youth League.
And you had no ambitions to be
president? No, not me. Like I explained, generationally, it's the right thing. Yeah, but you know, when a seed is planted like that, then I go home, I'm with that guy, I think I can be president of the Youth League. Yeah. The whole president. Then it means I can be. So anyone who spoke against my name, I started feeling hurt.
Yeah.
Why are you saying that? So the interest started developing.
Yeah. How does it work? Like, are you chosen by the ANC to be the president?
No, the branches of the Youth League. Branches of the Youth League go and elect delegates to the national conference. They gather under one roof, not less than 5,000 people, and then they choose their president. Yes, but leadership will always play a role in influencing those branches, who to choose, and. Yes, Zuma didn't want me.
He didn't?
No, I think he had it in his blood that this guy is going to cause trouble.
Yeah.
So when we're in Mangaung, Zuma was consulted, and he said, no. They didn't say this one. They said Saki.
Yeah.
So you guys are saying something else. Well, we got elected and we eventually accepted. Yeah. But then he was drifting away from us and seeing us as a potential problem. Yeah.
Man, I gotta tell you, when you were the ANC Youth League president, it's the first time I ever heard of you. And I'm like, who's this guy, man? He just shoots from the hip. He just tells it like it is. And I think for a lot of people, we started getting interested in, like, you know, politics because you were so entertaining. Did you do that on purpose, or it's just that's who I am?
But that's what they say about you now. They say we must not come here. You are homophobic. You have no respect for women. You're going to ask me about sex. And I say to them, the question will never be a problem. The problem is the answer. It all lies in how you answer the question. But the question must be asked. It doesn't matter how comfortable or uncomfortable the question may be, but answer the question. So I was being like you. I was being youth. And being youth means you must not apologize. And being youth means that you've got a license to make mistakes.
Of course.
But learn from those mistakes and not repeat them, because if you repeat them, it's a decision. It's no longer a mistake. So young people must be free. And young people must never be judged. You guys have got too much energy that must be harnessed and channeled to the right direction, not to be condemned. The youth of today, the youth of it's absolute nonsense. There's no youth of today. That which we are doing today, they did it. They did it. Mandela was worse. Mandela fought physically in meetings with people who were not agreeing with him. Mandela was a boxer. He took it to meetings. Yes, he disrupted Communist Party meetings because they didn't believe that the Communist Party must exist. President Xuma went to Mandela's house there in Soweto. Winnie tells this story during our DC in the ANC. He says, these ones have not done anything. Xuma came to my house, the then president of the ANC, and when I was about to open a gate for him, he refused and stood outside. I must tell that Nelson and Walter that this ANC does not belong to them. And then he left. That's how much they made the president of the ANC angry.
Sure.
But president of the ANC, Xuma, did not destroy Mandela. And when he asked the question, where will we be if Xuma had destroyed Mandela that time when he was angry with the youth? So Mandela and his generation of the youth are the ones who radicalized the ANC and made the ANC to carry guns. Because the ANC between 1912 and 1949, it was fighting through letters. They were sending letters and deputations to London. When the Youth League was formed in 1944, he said, no, this is nonsense. We must take guns and kill these people. This over-celebrated Mandela carried a gun with an intention to kill white people. And that story is not being told because they want to create this wrong impression of the nurse. There was a president of the Youth League that was Muila. One of the presidents of the Youth League, Robert Resha, said in a meeting of the ANC and the youth that revolutionaries must adapt to the concept of murder as a revolutionary activity. So it's the youth. So 1976 youth, you want to speak about them as if they were these people who came from a different planet. No, you know what they did? They went into Shebins and went to kick the bottles and African beers of the elders. Kick them rudely.
Not the 76.
What do you mean? 76. After they were shot, the second action was directed to Shebins. They kicked the alcohols, they demolished the bottle stores, and then they were climbing on top of those tables and say, children are dying, you are drinking alcohol. And then that is respectful in the definition of those who want to be holier than thou. It's not true. It was the youth being the youth. It was charged and it needed direction. Someone grabbed that opportunity and said, this youth is charged. It needs to be given direction. That's why they went into exile, to be trained, to be given political education. The first statement of the ANC, by the way, condemned the student uprising in 1976.
What?
And said the students must go to the class. They belong to the class. Yeah. They don't tell you that. Yes. So there is nothing you are doing that is unusual. You are being the youth. You want to push the boundaries and see how far you can go with your. And that's what we were doing in the youth league.
And you push the boundaries. And you push them. Eh?
And then when we arrived in parliament, we did the same thing. Yeah, we pushed the boundaries. They said there are rules. We said, bring here. We read the rules. And then we realized these people don't know the rules. We need to push them. Every time they say, no, you are wrong. We say, according to which rule? They say to us, no, you can't say Malema. You must say Honorable Malema. Then we say, there's nothing honorable about this person. No, the rules say you must call each other honorable. They say, you're lying. Which rule? And then they go to read the rule. The rule says, you must not call each other by name. So meaning, you must say Mr., Miss, or Mrs. So they found white people calling each other honorable. Then they took it and then continued with it. They thought it was in the rules. From 1994, it took the arrival of the EFF in parliament for those fools to know that we are not forced to call dishonorable people honorable. We have an alternative. They didn't know. So had we listened to this nonsensical criticism, we will not be where the EFF is. But the problem is also with the middle class. It doesn't know what it wants. It says all types of things. It can turn you into an amoeba. You will be shapeless.
What's an amoeba?
You are a shapeless animal. Yeah, you get pulled this way, you get pulled this way. Before you know it, we don't know where is the figure, where's... You are shapeless because you are pulled all directions. You must take a position and stand by it. Only time will tell if you're correct or not. When we started Zuma's thing, everybody said we were crazy. Everybody.
It was unheard of.
And then when the matter came to an end, everybody was crazy. If we were crazy, then they were all crazy. There was no one. You see, with Ramaphosa now, we told them this guy is a greedy businessman. You can't have a businessman as a president. He's going to prioritize money over the interest. There he's sleeping on top of money.
I thought it was $1 billion. I thought it was only 60 million. It's $1 billion.
It's a lot of money.
They only stole 60 million, but there was $1 billion in there. They couldn't even take all of it. That's how much it was.
And that's how capital works. It thrives on making and making and making more money. So they don't know the limit.
Why is that the case? Why do people abuse state funds and just want more money? Like, we get it. No country doesn't have corruption. It's all around the world, right? But at least, like, eat, but let the electricity work. Let the roads be fixed. We wouldn't even care.
There's no corruption in China. You'll die. They'll kill you. There's no corruption in Cuba. Those are socialist states. They are not driven by
capitalism,
market fundamentalism. They are driven by the interest of the people. So in a capitalist society, the interest is, I must make as much money as possible. Even, let's take Eskom, for instance. There is absolutely nothing wrong with Eskom. You must make it dysfunctional before you sell it so that everybody buys into the idea of you selling it. There was nothing wrong with SAA. There was an airline now recently privately owned. It collapsed, it failed. And then you are privatizing the SAA because you want to create an impression that when they are privately owned, they are successful. What about this privately owned one that has just collapsed? Which is a clear evidence that it's not true that when they are privately owned, they don't collapse. The job of SAA is not to make profit, by the way. Is to transport people. So it's a means of transport. So the state must subsidize it. The least SAA can do is to generate enough money to run it. It must not run at a loss. It must generate enough money, break even, to run itself. not to make profit and say, "Oh, SAA has made a lot of profit." What profit for what? We don't want to make money out of SAA. It's an intervention of the state in that mode of transport, because if we don't, only white people will fly, and the super rich. So we want you to also fly to Cape Town. Otherwise, you'll use train. So the state must subsidize that. And I've got a problem with you, the people of the middle class. When the state pays, you have a problem. Hi, we have been paying. We have been paying. The job of the state is to pay. That is his job.
Yeah.
There at my house, I pay. I can't one day complain, "Hey, I'm paying here. I'm paying." No, I pay. I can raise complaints, Urbana. These tinkies, I just bought 6 2 days ago. What happened? But no, they are finished. I must pay.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be a responsible father, I'm going to say, "Hey, I'm no longer paying. No more eating of tinkies."
Yeah.
They'll go and eat them next door and worship the people next door.
We were saying the same thing on the previous episode with ESCOM. They're creating the chaos and they're going to provide the solution. Because right now, if they say pay an extra 1,000 rand and there's no load shedding, I will gladly pay that.
Because we're desperate now.
But the problem is in the old infrastructure, which will not take more than 24 months to fix. And if you don't have capacity, the Chinese can come and do it for you at a cost. But they will do it, and they will do it to your own spec. You must do the spec. The Chinese will do it. They're more than willing. Why is there no train, a fast train between here and Musina, with so many cars and so many accidents? If we get a fast train, which is not hallucination or madness, it's possible. It's running already in China. If the Chinese can do it, they can do it for us, and we pay them. We've got a lot of minerals. We can go and mine gold for them and pay them with gold,
of course,
or diamond or whatever.
And they need them they need minerals.
Then we reduce this. No, we found Transnet working, transporting tons and tons of minerals. We've collapsed Transnet. As a result, there are too many trucks on the road. And too many trucks on the road means death. Because many of them are not in good condition. Many of them just turn the way they like because they know they are not at risk. Let's go and fix Transnet. So infrastructure is collapsing right on our face.
Yeah, it's bad.
There is no road in South Africa without a pothole.
Yeah. And they're getting bigger and bigger, these potholes, man.
And no one is doing anything. But South Africans will be worried about a man who goes to Ibiza with his wife when they've got so many problems. I'm not their president. They've elected their own government. South Africa, you've got the government you deserve.
So why do you think this generation of politicians are so corrupt? Is it because they're not used to money?
No. It is because they are being corrupted by white people.
Is it?
Yeah, so because you people speak about corruption as if it's a black people's thing.
Yes, true.
It's a white man's thing. Why? Business, when you say business is corrupting government, you mean whites are corrupting black people, because business is white.
Yes.
And then government is black.
Yeah.
And this government can't be corrupt with itself. It needs someone to be corrupt with. So it's corrupt with the business. And this business is white. But these whites never get arrested.
But what about the corruption where, like, for example, PPE money during COVID is child and there's no white business involved? It's money that, filtrates down from the government, from whatever international body that has loaned us. That doesn't involve private business.
No. There's a white person involved, because none of you have got machines to do mask. You've got no machine to do mask. You go and take the mask from a white man. So the white man says, Hamilton and Love, go and get that tender and then I'll print for you. Go and do it, and then I'll print for you. You can't do business in South Africa without any involvement of a white person.
Yeah.
No, not a single one. Not even the EFF can try and say, no, we were a party of black people, therefore we can do without whites. It's not possible. So the question we need to ask is, why do we see only these government people exposed and arrested? What is happening in the private sector? Because it's both the public and the private sector that are corrupting each other. But only the public gets arrested because it's easy for a black man to criticize, correctly so, another black man. You know why black people are scared of white people? It's not a joke. Even me. When I see a white person, my attitude changes. Like, we're traumatized people. It's like, then my political conscience has to kick in. Don't try those things with me, man. But otherwise, the first reaction is we need to get ourselves.
Our accents change.
Yes. So I've got a white security guy. When he sees that there's going to be a problem there, and he's working from behind, he moves to the front. They're going to open.
Yeah.
And then I said to him, no, don't move to the front. Let this one go. You're going to find that guy still explaining where he was born and what. Black people were generally very scared of white people. So that's why even now they are not talking about them.
Are you talking about the Stellenbosch mafia?
Very scared
of them, ne?
Very scared. Very, 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 very scared.
They essentially are running the country.
Yeah, it's theirs. It's theirs. None of us in this room woke up this morning without using something that comes from the rupees.
Yeah.
And the Oppenheimers own all the minerals because the Oppenheimers are the descendants of Rhodes. And Rhodes is the man who discovered these minerals. The Oppenheimers actually designed the political system of South Africa to an extent that they were themselves directly members of parliament of South Africa. So as and when the law changes to control the political dynamics and the landscape in South Africa, you must know is sponsored by the Oppenheimers because they control the politics of South Africa.
So how did the Guptas get away with it?
They didn't get away with anything. They were trying. They were trying. It's more complex than that. It's not this thing of tenders.
Yes.
No, the ownership of the strategic means of production. The ownership of not ownership of a newspaper and get a person to advertise in that newspaper. Therefore, you have captured the state. No. The question should be, who owns the strategic means of production? That includes the banks, the mines, the monopoly industries, the land.
Yes.
Yeah. Then the Guptas tried not to own any of these things. They tried that thing of the coal in Eskom with Glencoe, because generally Glencoe itself is corrupt and it has admitted to that. But otherwise, there was nothing with the Guptas. So the Guptas took business of white people here and there, and the white people were not happy with them. And they made a terrible mistake of wanting to take a Fireblade private airport from the Oppenheimers, because Malusi gave it to Oppenheimers. Then Zuma changed his mind and said, no, give to these ones. Then Malusi said, no, I never gave to the Oppenheimers, and he denounced his own signature. They took him to court. The court said, this is your signature, you lied under oath. Because they want. So when they wanted to take the airport from the Oppenheimers said, what?
Are you crazy?
We thought you were doing those things of yours there. Now you are coming to wrong people. They went for them big time. Yes, they went for them big time.
I hear a lot of people say that under Zuma's regime, a lot more black millionaires, people were eating in the government tenders and whatnot. But since Cyril, he's closed the taps.
Taps are dry.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
No, the white people were scared under Zuma's regime.
Yeah.
And they needed black protection, and they called it BEE. Yes. And one of my biggest gripes with Cyril is that if there were BEE partners in all the deals that were happening in ESCOM, for instance, all those BEE people have been removed everywhere. Why? The whites say, no, we don't need any protection. We've got our men. We've got our men. But they don't vote for him. They don't trust him because white people do not trust black people. Yes. He stays there in Sandest.
Sure.
That ward belongs to the DA. If whites feel so strong about him and support him, why are they not voting ANC in Sandest where Cyril stays? Because they love him. But this Cyril is nothing, Cyril. Those people didn't vote for Nelson Mandela. There were 2 elections which were held in 1994. Go where Mandela voted and check if those people voted ANC in 1994. The answer is no. And then there was 1997 transitional local council elections here in Houghton. Mandela went door to door recruiting people to join the ANC. He got more than 200 members to join the ANC. When the results came, he got less than 50 votes.
Wow.
With registered members of the ANC, because that's how much pretentious white people are. They did it to Madiba. They never voted for him, but every time they want to hypnotize you, they say Madiba said, as if they loved him. If they loved him, why didn't they vote for him? One day I was sitting with Mazoti in their group of white people. They say, no, guys, we must go vote, Cyril is a good guy. So Mazoti says, oh, so we are not voting for DA. No, we don't mean it like that. Don't mean it like that. They vote DA despite the fact that they say they love Cyril.
Do you have any funders like the EFF? Does it have any funders who belong to the Stellenbosch Mafia?
No, we never got any money from any Stellenbosch Mafia. And our funding comes from Parliament and the IEC and the party levies that we collect from EFF public representatives. We've got more than 1,000 public representatives, MPLs, MPs, councillors, speakers, deputy mayors, and so on and so forth. So those people pay every month what we call a party levy, because a party must take care of itself. If it can't, it will end up being available to the highest bidder. Yes.
How much does it cost to start a party? Like if I woke up tomorrow and I want to start a party.
It's very expensive.
Ne?
Yeah, it's very expensive.
How much? Billions?
If I fail now, I won't try it again. Well, it's not billions at a core.
Yeah,
but if you come to think of it, this one collects this one in Musina, this one collects this one in Umtata, this, and it's a lot of money.
So it's crowdfunding?
Not crowdfunding. You go to individuals to ask for support. You go to sympathizers to ask for support. At the beginning, when you are not in Parliament, you get nothing from Parliament or the IEC.
Yes.
You don't get anything.
So when you started, weren't you scared? Because like obviously you're studying EFF now just from the ANC, with people not taking your calls now, you were outcast. Wasn't it difficult?
No, it was not difficult, because the first thing you must have is a political will.
Okay.
Money should not even preoccupy your mind. You must have a political will, and the political will is anything that you speak about and you feel it inside your stomach, then you mean it. You'll do everything in your power to make sure that you achieve it. It doesn't matter the obstacles. No, you fight. Because
what obstacles did you come across when you were studying?
Well, firstly, they attacked me. They took everything from me.
Everything?
Everything. They took my houses, they took my cars, they took everything.
Weren't those under your name?
They were under my name.
So how did they take them?
No, they were sequestrating me, SARS.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So if you want to deal with a political opponent, the quickest way to deal with a political opponent is to send SARS to that political
opponent. Okay.
Because it doesn't matter how good your auditor might be.
Yes.
They will always find
a loophole, yeah.
Yes. And then the second one is the NPA, charge with no intention to win, but just have the dark cloud hanging over his head. So that's what they do. But if you know that none of this is true, you will not be shaken by these things, because in South Africa, we've got a law. They might try to tamper with it, but the laws are there in South Africa, and some judges still have conscience. So we fought them. I went to, one day I was driving to, I don't know where I was going at Greyston, and I saw the emblem of an insurance company. I forgot the name now. And it looked very familiar. So I drove inside there. Remember, they took everything from me.
Yeah.
And then I made a plan. I bought a second-hand or fifth-hand or seventh-hand Mercedes-Benz C180 for 90,000. For 90,000, so I'm driving. I go into Sandton. I see a sign there, so let me drive in. So I take out my ID. I say, I'm here to collect my money. They say, okay, bring your ID. They check. But no, you've got this money. You know when they were doing that thing of World Cup?
Yes.
So they said we must save money. When World Cup comes, we can afford to buy tickets.
Yeah.
So I saved that money for World Cup, but never got to use it during World Cup because I was a VIP. So I didn't need to buy a ticket. So I forgot that there's such a money that I saved for World Cup. Then I was saving money, apart from that, saving money with that institution.
Yeah.
So that money I'd saved almost 350,000.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, and then they transferred it immediately. And then when they transferred it immediately, I left, I went to my landlord. I transferred the money for the rental for the whole year.
Yeah.
And I said to Floyd, if we are going to fight these people, we can't fight them from Malamulele. We must be here. So we're going to pay rental the whole year. We stay in Joburg and we fight with them.
Yeah.
And then we paid rental. It's a girl called Ouma who came, found the house like this empty. Said, no, look for some money, I'll go and buy furniture, what. So I gave her money. She went to buy some furniture, what. Then we're fine.
That's crazy.
So, but my bedrooms were solid. And you know what saves my bedrooms? These guys are coming to take the furniture from my house. Then they don't go to the bedroom. The first one comes, he says, hey, we can't go to your bedroom, your wife is sleeping. That time I'm not married, I don't have a wife.
Yeah.
No, you can go, there's no problem, there's no wife. This one says, no, yeah, let's go. He says, there's no wife. Hey, chief, you didn't hear what this guy is saying.
Yeah.
He says when the wife is sleeping, you can't go that side. What are you want to see a naked? You want to see a naked? There are two white people.
Yeah.
No, Mr. Maga, don't do that, man. Don't do that. Oi, you want to see? They said when the wife is there, you don't go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you done? But yeah, we're done. Out. And then they left. That's how I saved my bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. They couldn't go in because that one gave me something I didn't know.
Yeah.
When there is a woman inside, they don't go.
Yeah. Why don't they assassinate you?
I've got a very powerful ancestors. Yeah. They don't play. I see trouble before it happens.
Oh wow.
And I cause trouble. I don't get into trouble. I cause it. Yeah, I take a decision that we cause trouble now.
Yeah,
let's do it.
And you've never feared for your life?
No. Why? I joined politics for two things. We either are going to die or we are going to win. And we believed that one day we will win. So for us to be here, it's a miracle. When I turned 40, I died many times ago because we were told we're going to die. And
you were ready to die.
And we're not scared. No, we're not scared. We knew how to operate a firearm at a very early age. We carried firearms with us on daily basis. You see, so death is nothing. Nobody threatens me with death.
So what do you have bodyguards then?
It's for order, because not being scared to die should not be confused for suicide. I don't want to commit suicide. I'm not going to die a coward where I'm just found with a lowered guard. No.
Yeah.
When a fight comes, it must find me prepared. And then we must take it toe for toe.
Yeah.
Don't die like you were found in a bottle store.
How much time do you have there?
You're on 1 hour.
1 hour?
5 minutes.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah.
You said you could handle a gun from an early age. You ever shot someone or shot at someone?
Well, it's incriminating, that question.
What if you were fighting for free?
Now you want me to go to prison?
Yeah.
No, maybe fighting
for you.
No, maybe as a freedom fighter. You know, that's not that incriminating.
It's because then the next thing is going to be who?
Yeah.
When? Where?
Where?
Have you ever been to prison?
No.
You've never.
No. But the first time we got arrested, I think we acted in a very stupid way. So we went on a strike, and then police came. So when we go to cause a strike, isn't it we wear school uniform?
Yes.
So we wear school uniform with inside the shirt with a casual T-shirt. And then when we start, and then police come, we run, and then the nearest house, you take off this school shirt.
Yes.
Just throw it inside that house and stand by the gate there and watch the kids running, because you are not part of that.
Of course.
So we saw kids being arrested. So our president of the SRC at the time says to us, we're meeting there at the shopping complex, he says to us, no. We can't allow kids to be arrested in our name. We must hand ourselves over. We want to be revolutionaries. And then the problem starts. But no, we must go home, collect toiletries.
Yeah.
And then we'll meet here and then go together to the police station.
Yeah.
Toiletries?
Hey.
What is toiletries?
Yeah.
Where am I going to get toiletries? Because there, the vast lab, the first cloth we're using,
that's the toilet.
It belongs to Magog.
Yeah.
If you take that thing and she looks for it and she doesn't find it, when you come back from that prison, there's going to be trouble.
Yes. You want to stay in prison.
Go home, pretend like you are going to take toilet and come back with the rest and go to police station. When we arrive there, we're beaten. But this one of our boss who behaves like Mandela, but we've been looking for you. They went for him in front of us. So it was so bad.
Yeah.
And then they kept us there for 2 days, 3 days. Then my mother comes to see me. You know, you are never in trouble as long as you don't see any parent, nothing. We're all the same.
Yeah.
But Julius Malema, your mother is here to visit you.
Yeah.
Oh, God, old lady. She's going to solve this thing, I know her. She arrives there, she's got a pap, and then that tin fish of Tito Mbowen. Puts in that thing, says, take, you are useless. I told you are going to be arrested.
Yeah.
And then she turned and left. When she turned and left, that's when I realized we are in big trouble.
Wow.
Even this one can't solve this problem. I know this one to be MacGyver, everything. She can sort it out. I accepted my fate.
Yeah.
I arrived there, I gave those guys the food I couldn't even eat.
You had no appetite.
No appetite, nothing.
That time we're busy getting arrested for drinking and driving.
Yes.
Imagine how life has changed.
Because I heard you saying, no, the youth must not get involved with government, what. You must, don't use this platform to depoliticize the youth.
Yeah.
The day you guys get depoliticized, that's when the enemy is going to be very happy, because its intention is to depoliticize you.
But no, what I was saying is that...
And this thing of yours saying, no, we don't need government, we can do it on our own. It's not true. You can't.
We are living proof of that.
No. What is this? You call it what? You call it what? This. This. We must give you the best of the best equipment that you can televise this thing uninterrupted, interactive, live. Now, you can't do it. Utshwere laptop one, you are doing it. Utshwere laptop one. Why is the government not identified? It's the job of the government. You are excusing them by saying you can do it on your own.
Yeah.
You are excusing them.
Yeah.
The government must identify potential. And where ideas are brilliant, put money. Yeah. And whether that idea is going to succeed or not, we don't care.
But you know
we
that's not how it
supported
works.
it.
You know that's not how it works.
No, but that's how it's supposed to work.
It's all
And
about
that's
brown
how-
envelopes. Who do you know? Connections.
No brown envelope. No brown envelope. No brown envelope. Is it Japan? The Toyota. Japan. You see Toyota. Toyota was formed by the state.
Yes,
It
yes.
failed. It failed many times. The state never stopped putting money in it and said this thing is a waste of money. Look at what Toyota is today.
So as if
Because the will was there.
as if how come you've never put money into this,
Into what?
into this podcast?
They say you are homophobic. and what's this other thing? You bash women and because we were going to put money during election.
Yes.
You must ask them.
Yeah, then what happened?
They said no.
Yeah.
The women said no.
Oh, the women
said no.
always
This
the woman.
one
Yeah.
doesn't respect us. Blah blah. And I'm like, what do we do over a period of time? Should we drop him in a dustbin of history and destroy him, or you go there and engage to a point where, as he grows, he comes to appreciate that we are not America, because the things you are saying here, they are saying them already in America. And we may come to appreciate what you are doing now in the next 20 years. But you may want to yourself to always look at time and space without being a Madala, Magogo, and without being a traditional platform. Be the unique platform you want to be, but certain things we can say them without saying them to defend the character of this platform. But we are not going to sit back and say, no, this black child must be destroyed and we must finish him. No, I don't subscribe to that, because if that was then the idea, I wouldn't be where I am.
True.
I said so many wrong things. And people never gave up on me.
Yeah.
They always said to me, Tokyo Swali once said to me, don't say we are going to kill. Just say we are not going to die without a fight. But you are telling them you are going to kill. Without saying it. Just tell them we are not going to die without a fight.
Do you regret any of the things that you've said or done?
I don't regret anything. I mean, we are growing up.
Yeah.
And therefore, whatever we said, and when we look at it now on hindsight, it's a learning curve.
Yes.
It's something that you like, we could have said it better or differently. Yeah, but it ought to be said. Yes. So we don't live life of regret. And when you say you don't regret, it doesn't mean you don't apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you are wrong, you say, I'm sorry. And then even if I'm right, the fact that you feel offended, it's okay. Yeah, it just doesn't change the facts. But I'm sorry, because the intention was not to offend you, was to put the facts as they are. Yeah, so I put the facts. I offend a lot of people because I put the facts the way they are. I swear a lot informally to a point where my communication team is always panicking. One day you're going to say this word on a media platform that I will never say it because I know time and space.
Yeah, you can say it here.
No.
Which one is it? Is it fuck? Bitch?
No, I say them in spade. I don't swear in English.
But to
Mara spade is Rogana.
It's only Xhosa. The Xhosa one is very,
and
very
Zulu.
And Zulu. Yeah. But what I was saying on the JJ Tabane interview is I was saying, as young people, we don't engage in politics because we've seen and we are tired because nothing ever changes. It seems like these people, the guys that own and run this thing, politics, right, are so detached and what's the word I'm looking for? So they're not in touch with reality. Unlike yourself, you know, you are with the people. I mean, your office, like I said, is right in the middle of the people. So you know what's happening in the ground. But the guys at the top don't give a damn, and they don't even know what's going on.
Out of touch.
So as young people, what we are starting to do now is just work amongst ourselves. That's why you see like a Lekau start drip without any government funding. You see a podcast like this without any government funding. Because we've noticed we can't rely on them. All we can do is rely on each other and push.
But what you are doing is politics. To the creation of an alternative media is in itself a political initiative.
Okay.
So you must never think that what you are doing is apolitical. If this thing grows to threaten the white media establishment, the first thing they are going to do is to buy you out.
Of course.
Yeah, they are going to say, no, this thing is a problem.
Yeah.
And the day they want to buy you out, then you must know it's political. Yeah, because they control the narrative.
Yes.
And therefore they can't allow a person to have such a huge platform without them deciding what goes into the content. So when you say young people, take it upon yourself, do not rely on government.
Yeah.
It's political.
Okay.
You are correct to say, no, let's go and work. And that if this government is not coming to the party, it will join the party late. But we're not going to wait in some closet and wait for the government to say, now you can come out.
Yes.
No, you are going to work. And that's what politics demand of you. Let's cover this and then like a writer of you. What's going to happen to us, the youth? You need to wake up and work and show this government that is possible. All I'm saying to you is that, has government seen this platform? If the answer is yes, it must ask the question, how do we help these people?
Yes.
There are car washes at township. Has government ever asked, how do we regularize, formalize, and help these people?
Every township's got a car wash.
A professional and look nice. No, they are waiting for you to go to government. But when they want you to vote, they don't say, come to us so that we can tell you to vote for us. They come to you.
Yeah.
So we want a government that goes to the people, not only on elections. When you see a proper brain, like the United States does, once they see a talented genius in the whole world, they give him that thing, green book. They say, no, you have a green book, you can come here. And then when you arrive there, they incorporate you into the U.S. Army. Then you exercise that brain in the U.S. Army. That's how the U.S. Army managed to discover the internet, because they identify the best brain and they pouch it. Yeah. So here, the best brain gets destroyed. No, it's challenging government. It's challenging authority. What type of government is this one which is scared to be challenged? This is a democratic society. The price of democracy is that the powers that be must be challenged. Yes.
And what do you think about Nhlanhla Lux and the Dudula movement?
Who's done? Who's Nhlanhla Lux?
You don't know Nhlanhla Lux? You've got to know Nhlanhla Lux. Come on now. Which one is this one?
It's a TV presenter. What's that?
Operation Dudula.
I know Operation Dudula.
Yeah.
The one that moves people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think about that operation?
Well, it's self-hate. Yeah, it's a self-hate. Yeah. Black people are not loved all over the world. All over the world. You know, if you get into China, a young child of a Chinese is going to come here and do this to you.
Wow.
Because she thinks you are dirty. So she thinks, yeah, that's us, black people who are hated all over the world. And for another black person to hate another black person who's hated all over the world, what is that? What is that? I mean, let's show each other love. That's all I'm saying. Let's show criminals, let's deal with it. I have no time for thugs. I don't tolerate thugs. I've got no time for thugs. But I'm not going to beat up a person because he's dark and ugly in my eyes. And then ask the person to tell me what is this in Venda. If you're to ask me what is this in Spade, I don't know. So I must celebrate that. I must be part of that. I'm not going to do that. Borders for who? For what? Why? What makes you fall in love with these borders? Someone must just convince me, because you are unemployed now with borders. You are unemployed, you are suffering, you are poor now with borders. What benefit does it come with these borders? And the borders, have fallen, by the way. We look like crazy people because there is no fence. There's only gate. Gate without a fence. Those people in Lesotho, they just come across here during Sasa Day to collect Sasa and go back. And then weekend they cross this side, 1 or 2. When they are fine, they go back. There's no stamping of passport, nothing. Swaziland, Mozambique, Botswana, Zimbabwe. It's done. Society is ahead of us. We are backward. You come here and say we want a decolonized education, and then you embrace borders that were imposed on us by the colonizers. We can't. You can't say, on the other hand, I hate colonialism. On the other hand, I support the borders. The borders is colonialism. Because the unity of Africa is a threat to the imperialists.
Of course.
They don't want us together. I'm not shaken by any Nigerian or Zimbabwean or any black person. I've got my gift. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I'm worth. Why should I be threatened by another black person? No. This America's economy is made by foreigners. Who's that Elon Musk? Elon Musk. He's not an American.
South African.
Yes. So you love them when they have money. When they don't have money, they are not. You call them illegal. You call people of Guyana illegal. Today, as we speak, someone was addressing Bheki Cele. They're saying in this police station there are too many Tsonga speaking police and vendors. Where are we going to get? Be careful what you are asking for. Be careful what you are asking for, especially when at the dark one.
I mean, Craig.
You see, if Vuyani will survive.
No,
Just look at this one. Out.
You wake up tomorrow, President of South Africa. What are we changing?
We're taking the land.
Yeah.
We expropriate the land, and we make the state a custodian of the land, meaning the state owns the land. This office of the EFF is not going to be taken. All it has to do, it must be defined that in this piece of land, there is an office called EFF office. It's being used to run political affairs of the EFF. Fine. And then here, what are you doing? Here, what are you doing? The rest of unutilized space must be utilized. Hey, why must you just be going around telling people, in my book, I own 5,000 hectares. How many hectares are you using? 10. When there are so many people without land. In Mozambique, the land is owned by the state. Let me tell you, these whites who are saying you want to expropriate our land we are living, they're not going far. They are going to Mozambique where the land is owned by the state. In China, the land is owned by the state.
Hey, you love China, eh?
Yeah, China is progressive.
Meh.
Yeah, it's an alternative to capitalism.
Yeah.
So they make things happen, my man. How do you build 2 hospitals in 2 weeks?
Hey, man.
Aye. And then here, if we say to you, just dig trenches.
And there were ones like us a few years back. There were ones like us, China.
Those guys, they work and they don't have a 10-year plan. They've got 100 years plan. By this time, we must have achieved this. What is the plan of South Africa?
Hey, man.
Yeah? What is the plan of South? What do we want to achieve as we sit here? Except that we are waiting for a newspaper to advertise a tender. Only then we know, they're going to do a tar road. No one knows when is this tar road going to be done.
Yeah.
Until it is advertised in a newspaper. When you say, we're not a nation, we're just people, because a nation shares common vision and mission. What is that vision and mission that we share as South Africans, black and white? Which mission is that?
It's every man for himself, man.
The Chinese have got a mission, you see. So we need to make sure that we make this thing work. Yes, by owning, my brother, when they came here, just ask yourself one question, not too many questions. One, when they arrived, what did they take first? They took the land. They knew with the land, everything is done.
Sorted.
They took the land. They were even prepared to commit wars of genocide. Actually, they committed them. Yeah, wars in this country, the wars of resistance, when the Xhosas were fighting them, it was over the land, not over women or some mineral. No, we had not discovered diamond and gold at that time. But what we discovered was the land.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they took it, eh? Hey, they took it, man.
We don't have anything. We don't have anything. We are tenants in our own country.
You see there by Waterfall, you see those houses there? You got to lease it for 99 years.
Yeah.
No one owns those houses. It's crazy.
Yeah, and that land, he was given by some white mayor or something.
Yeah, it was like...
For the role he played in the World War II or something.
It was like, just walk there, whatever land you see, you can have.
Yeah. He didn't pay for that land.
Yeah.
No. And it's Indian, by the way.
Yeah,
Indian
guy.
family.
Indian family.
It's an Indian family. You don't have anything, nothing. And then when you speak, someone says, no, let's fight each other.
Yeah.
You see, we can't fight each other. Black people must unite. And it's a unity of purpose. The unity of black people is a threat to all those who want to see us suffer. In the EFF, we don't spread hate, not even of white people. We spread love, that you must love yourself first, so that when you see another black person, you see yourself in that black person. You know, I grew up under Peter Mugaba. Peter discovered that Castle was Pedi almost few months before he died, but they lived together throughout. And for some reason he thought, this guy was Shangan. But tribe was nothing to them.
Yes.
They just saw black people, they saw comrades, and that's it. So I have no problem whether you're Zulu or you're Xhosa or anything. I blend everywhere where there are black people, and I don't feel intimidated or scared. The drug dealers, the real drug dealers, they are known. And then you go and search some old EFF former secretary and say he's selling drugs. Why? For what? For what? So we can't. We can't allow that. I would rather not get votes.
Yeah.
If I'm told that I must go and block a woman in Musina who's trying to jump a fence with the child because the child is sick and there's no medication in Zimbabwe. And they are jumping with that child so that they can get medication. Many of them don't even come here forever. They jump to get medication at the clinic in South Africa and jump back so that the child can be healed. In my right mind, with my wife and my kids in my life, I must see that woman and not see my wife carry my own child going to seek medication. If anything, I must reach for my pocket and help her to get the child the best medication.
How did you meet your wife? She's beautiful, by the way.
My wife comes from the same section with me at Zone 1. You don't say someone's wife is beautiful.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah.
Why not?
It means Udumadlo Jangwane.
Okay, take that one out. Take that one out. Oh, so you guys met there at Sishiko?
I was a friend with the sister.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how I saw her.
Oh, wow. And now you got 2 beautiful kids, no? Or
3.
one? 3. How many boys, how many girls?
3 boys.
3 boys?
Yeah.
Which one do you think is going to take after you?
The last one.
The last one, eh? It reminds me of a young
But I've
Juju.
got the one of 15 years.
Yeah. Is that another?
No, in the 3. With my wife, I've got 2. And this one I came with.
Oh.
But they all stay under one roof. You see, as the Lambas, we don't allow that our children be all over. They must be under one roof, so that they learn the same things.
Yeah.
So your wife,
if
you were to marry a wife and you come with a child, she must love that child if she loves you, because that's your blood. And then their response is, no, their baby mamas are a problem. No. We're not saying love the baby mama. We say love this one.
Yeah.
And leave the baby mama. If she's crazy, let her be crazy then. But love this one.
Yeah.
What do you do with the baby mama?
Yeah. Are you still in communication with your baby mama, the first?
Yeah, we were all of us involved in the bringing up the boy.
Yeah.
But the boy stays with me. And there are days where it drives me crazy and I'm like, I call the mother and say, you take over, otherwise I'll kill this thing.
Yeah.
So the mother must intervene and say, wait. Then talk to her. And I don't believe in those things of fighting.
Yes.
After we have had a relationship.
Yes.
It's childish.
Yeah.
You are human beings. When you reach a point where the disagreements are so overwhelming, you must agree or it's not working.
But when you make love to your wife, must she call you CIC, Juju, Julius? What does she call you?
Just leave it to the 2 of us. because you see what you are doing. You are not different from boys who are peeping through windows when people are busy.
Hey, Petuka, you got a question to ask him?
Yeah, man. Do you ever see yourself like stepping down as the head of EFF? Because there's this idea that it's going to be a thing like the IFP or UDM where the founder is going to be there as the head forever.
Well, the founder of the July 26 movement, Fidel Castro, and later Communist Party, at some point he stepped down. And in China, the leaders of the Communist Party of China, they stepped down. So the IFP can never be an example to the EFF because its ideological orientation is not the same as that of the EFF. So in the EFF, there are elections held every 5 years. And then every 5 years when you are elected, they don't say continuing president. They say newly elected president. But I can't wait for the day where I hand over the baton to the younger generation. Because I've done this thing since I was 9 years. I don't know any other life except this.
Yes.
So when I say if it was my wish, I will retire at 50, 55. Those who want to use their proximity to me to amass wealth, where are you going? I'm like, where am I going? Am I dying? I'm saying I'm retiring. So you think if I'm not president, you won't get access to some of the things. That's why you say I must not retire. But we should retire. We've got an EFF student command who are investing in young people who are at the universities, training them, because a success of a leader depends on whether he prepared the second and the third layer of leadership. Yeah.
In closing, what do you want to be remembered as?
I want to be remembered as a person who helped people, as a person who turned those who were called nothing into something.
Yeah.
So I want, when I walk the streets or the malls, someone just come to me and say, I'm now a doctor.
Wow.
Or what do you mean? I know that registration you paid for me, that help you made for me to get into university. I made it, and I must not remember them. I don't help them to remember. I just know I helped a black person because they don't owe me anything. They don't even have to vote for the EFF. I tell them all the time. But already, I think I've achieved that because grown-ups, men and women, young and old, come to me. The other one said to me the other day, hey, I'm sorry and so, you remember me? I said, you know, as politicians, when we don't know a person, we just laugh. Is that you?
I remember.
And then he says, no, I'm that one you rescued the house when the Standard Bank was repossessing the house. We even finished paying the bond. And you were still in the youth league. So I'm like, oh, I'm happy I could help.
Oh.
Yeah.
You helped Fifi Kupane?
I did.
Yes.
I did. I like helping artists because they are underrated in South Africa. And they are not given special attention they deserve, because without them, we will be a depressed nation.
Of course.
Yeah, their entertainment makes us to be who we are. And they use their skills, you know, to comfort us and to revive the inner being and to give us hope that it's not all lost. Even when they themselves are not doing well, they still give you that hope that it's not all done for as long as you are still alive. So they are not looked after. So all the time in the EFF, we make sure that there is no activity of the EFF without artists, and they must be paid, and you don't negotiate a discount.
Who are you listening to right now, music-wise? Who are you liking?
But I'm not into music. I don't like those things of music. They're a bit difficult for me. You know, I can drive from here to Polokwane without listening to music.
What?
Just thinking.
Thinking, yeah.
Alone. Driving alone, thinking, because I don't like things that are going to take me away from where I am. I miss you.
So piano, you haven't listened to piano?
I do. Piano is my favorite.
Piano, ne?
Yeah, because piano has fought poverty.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
Yeah,
big
piano
time.
has changed lives of people.
Yeah.
In a big way.
Massive.
Yeah, in a big way. And then you ask yourself a question: what is the state's role? What role did the state play?
Zero.
Nothing.
Zero.
You know, instead of opening studios in each and every municipality where people book an hour to go and record without paying anything, to harness and support this talent. Look at what piano is doing
worldwide,
international. I mean, I was in Ibiza. Those boys of Major League were making things happen there. Yeah. So you've got such a genre that is your own,
and we own it. Yeah.
And then you don't support it. But what I like about the youngsters now is that they own their music. There is no longer this business of robbing them. Of course, there will be there and there.
It's life.
Those who get excited and not look into the real contract. But majority of those artists that we celebrate today here at home, they own their property. And that helps because remember, when you are an artist, you are loved when you are young. And when you are old, you are called a legend so that they don't book you anymore. And unlike politicians, politicians, you are hated when you are young, and you are loved when you are old. I mean, the ANC just appointed a 76-year-old man to be a chairperson of a lottery board. 76 in a country where young people are the most unemployed. Why? They love them old. They have no confidence in young people. So when you are youth now and you are in music, protect it so that it can take care of you when you are older. Yeah.
Do you think ANC will survive the next elections?
It won't survive. No. Here the ANC is at 50.1. It's ruling Gauteng at 50.1. They couldn't run their own conference. It had to sit on 2 separate weekends, which is a practical evidence of a serious crisis. So no miracle is going to happen between now and 2024 for the ANC to gain any support in Gauteng. They are ruling with extra 1 man. If he goes into hospital and then there is a motion of no confidence, you can remove these people.
So that means you could become the future president.
That's where we're going. Why are you asking obvious questions?
Thank you so much, CIC. Thank you so much, man. I brought you this because your story is very inspirational. It's kind of like ours, you know? This is my own gin. I don't know if you still drink.
Own it?
Yeah, this is my own gin, this one.
You are not like the rest of...
No, I'm not just a face. No.
They own when they don't own.
No. I did the recipe. I did everything, the packaging,
I asked a guy who came, a friend of mine, who said he owns a gin. So I said to him, are there white people here? He said, no, I'm alone. This is mine. I was posing, supporting. Then we opened a place there called Suit in Soweto.
Yes.
Then I called him, hey man, give me the number of George of that place where they sell alcohol. I want to buy. Hey, don't buy there. Don't buy there. Why? That guy, I called him to ask him how many bottles did he sell there. He's not telling me. Hey, Chief, you don't know how many bottles you sold to George. You. Other you are the one. This is yours. Yes. You must know. Yes. You can't ask him. Yes. He says, no, you see, these whites, they're the ones who are actually selling and then giving me reports. Now they don't. But you said you don't have whites. Yes. You are alone. Yes. So let me tell you, I'm going to buy by George because you lied. I said you don't have whites when you had whites. From the beginning, you should have explained. Yes. I've got white people. It's not mine. Some percentage we are talking about it, but otherwise I'm the face. So that we know it for what it is. We don't,
no, I'm not the face. I'm 100% here.
Because I've seen a lot of you guys here with gin. What is the other one that you guys are doing? Wine, you're not playing in that space.
No, not yet.
Vodka.
This is the president's gin. Yeah.
I will test it when I'm relaxed with my wife.
Yes. And if you want some more, together. You can get it at Macro.
Is that Macro?
Oh,
nice. No, this is proper stuff.
Thank you so much, man.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. So we're celebrating 9 years of the EFF.
9 years of the EFF.
Round of applause. Round of applause.
9 fucking years.
So we're in Bloemfontein. On the 9th, and then next year we're going to 1010.
Wow.
And then we're going to FNB Stadium. We've already booked it. 10 years of the existence of the fearless movement. And that is not in the pocket of white monopoly capital.
Sure.
The only thing that black people can say they own after this.
I love that, man. I was saying in closing, Saul, his story is similar to ours, you know. Yeah. We're in the industry, we're outcasts, got kicked out, started our own thing. Yeah. Here we are pushing black excellence, Super. You know, pushing love. We don't have any white monopoly.
No, we're going to support you. I think you must be supported. And
thank you. Who was the lady? We must talk to that lady who said no.
No. It's not one lady. It's a group of ladies.
Yeah, them. Where are they?
Yeah, where are they?
I want to have a word. Where are they?
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Podcast and Chill. We are here. Peace.